Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello dear students, welcome to another lecture. Now in this class we are going to learn about the noun clauses. Now in the previous lectures we've learned about what is a clause. We've learned about a difference between a sentence, a phrase and a clause. And when we talk about the sentences, we've also learned about the difference between a simple, compound and a complex sentence. Now in this class, we shall learn about the noun clauses. Okay. Now we know what is a clause first of all. A clause is a group of words which has a subject and a predicate of its own, but it needs a major sentence. It needs to be a part of a sentence to make complete sense, right? So, we've already learned that a subordinate clause that does the work of a noun in a sentence is called a noun clause. So, what is a noun clause? It is a subordinate clause. Subordinate clause also we've learned dependent clause, right? Subordinate clause is the other name for dependent clause. So a clause, a dependent clause or a subordinate clause which does the work of a noun in a sentence is called a noun clause. Now, a noun clause is always found in a complex sentence. Obviously, because in a compound sentence, we have only independent clauses. We have a subordinate clause or we have a dependent clause in case of a compound sentence. So this thing is for sure that we shall be able to find a noun clause only in a complex sentence. So what are the different noun clauses that can be found in a complex sentence? The subject of a verb, the object of a verb, the object of a preposition, complement of a verb of incomplete predication in opposition to a noun or a pronoun. These are the 5 different ways in which you can find a noun clause in a complex sentence. We shall be learning about each one of them. So, the first one is when the noun acts as the subject of a verb. We all know there's a verb in the sentence, right? So, when my noun acts as the subject of the verb, it is known as a noun clause. You know, it is the subject of a verb that it acts as. Now, look at the sentence. The story is true. Okay? In this sentence, when I ask the question, what is true? The answer is story. So my noun is what? It is story. Look at the second sentence. What he says is quite true. Again, ask the question, what is true? Now in the second sentence, what is the answer that you are getting? What he says. Rather than getting the answer in the form of just one word, here you are getting the answer in the form of a clause, that too a subordinate clause. So this is a noun clause. Why? Because A, it is a clause, and B, it is serving the purpose of a noun in a sentence. Therefore, it is a noun clause. It asks the question, what is true? The story is true. Or, what he says is true. So, the subject of a verb means when the clause is before my verb. Okay, that is the subject of the verb. When it is in the place of a subject in the sentence. We all know what is a subject. So when my noun is in the place of a subject in the sentence, it is known as the subject of a verb. Let us look at more examples. That he will come back is certain. What is certain? Whenever we have to identify the subject, the question that we ask is what? So what is certain? That he will come back. Now that he will come back is a clause. It has a subject, it has a predicate, but is also a subordinating subject. And most importantly, it is used in the place of a subject in this sentence, right? Therefore, it is the subject of a verb. Second sentence. What cannot be cured must be endured. Something that you cannot cure it, you have to bear the pain of it. Okay. Again, ask the question what, because that is the question we ask when we have to identify the subject. So, what can be, must be endured, what cannot be cured. So, I'm getting the answer to what can be cured. It is in the place of a subject, so this is the subject of a verb. Why he left the home is a mystery. What is a mystery? Why left home? Here again, my clause is in the form of a subject, so the subject of a verb. So in these sentences that we just discussed, my subject was a clause that I was getting. In order to identify the subject, we ask the question what. When I asked the question what, my answer was a clause, and the position of that clause was in the form of a subject. So therefore, that is the first type, when the subject of a verb, when the clause acts as a subject of the verb. The second type is when my noun clause acts as the object of the verb. Now, subject we know comes at the beginning of the sentence and object comes at the end of the sentence. Clear enough, right? Look at the sentences. She tells us a story. What does she tell us? Story. It is a noun and it is taking the place of an object because it is coming at the end of the sentence. Look at the second sentence. She tells us that she will not go. What does she tell us? That she will not go. My answer to what is a clause which is coming in the place of an object. Now look at more examples. Do you know when the train will arrive? Do you know what? Know what? When the train will arrive. So my answer to the question know what is coming in the place of an object. Second sentence. Tell me why you abused him. Tell me what? Why you abused him. The answer to tell me what is coming in the form of an object. Third sentence. He thinks that she will never fail. He thinks what? That she will never fail. If you just observed in all these three sentences, how did I ask the question? I first asked the verb, then the question. And the answer that I got was my object. Know what? When the train will arrive. Tell what? Why you abused him. Think what? That she will never fail. So whenever in a sentence my noun clause takes the position of an object, it will always come after the verb. And this is how you are going to identify. You ask the verb, the question, the answer that you get is your clause. If your clause is in the place of a subject, it is the subject clause. If it is in the place of the object, it is the object. Okay. Let us look at the next type. When my noun clause serves as the object of a preposition. We all know what are prepositions. In, of, at, up to, on to, between, among. These are all my prepositions. So when my clause is going to follow a preposition, it is a prepositional noun. Okay? When my clause will come immediately after a preposition, it will be a prepositional noun. Look at the sentence. Pay attention to my story. Again, you ask the question, pay attention to what? Story. You are getting just one word answer, that is story, which is a noun. On the other hand, look at the next sentence. Pay attention to what? What I say. The answer that you are getting is in the form of a clause. And this clause follows my preposition. It comes immediately next to my preposition. So this is what? This is a prepositional noun clause. A noun clause which comes next to a preposition is a prepositional noun clause. For example, I cannot depend on what he says. What is my preposition? On. I cannot depend on what? On what he says. So this is my prepositional noun clause. It follows my preposition. Second sentence. I do not object to what he does. What is my preposition? To. I do not object to what? To what he does. So what he does is my prepositional noun clause. She is ashamed of what she said. What is my preposition? Of. She is ashamed of what? Of what she said. This is my prepositional noun. So what is a prepositional noun clause? That noun clause which follows a preposition in the sentence and comes in the form of an object is a prepositional noun. Okay, we've learned about three types of noun clauses. One, when my noun clause took the place of my subject, it came before my verb. Second, when my noun clause took the place of my object, it came after the verb. And when I talked about a prepositional noun clause, it took the place of an object and it came after a preposition. Okay, let us look at the next type now. It is complement of a verb of incomplete predication. Now, incomplete predication means those verbs which are incomplete in nature. Okay, basically the verb forms of be. What are the verb forms of be? Is, was, am, were, are. These are all the verb forms of be. Being, been. These are all the verb forms of be. Okay, now look at the sentence. My brother is a medical student. My brother is what? Medical student. I'm getting an answer to my question what? So, a noun. Look at the next sentence. My belief is that he will pass. What is my belief? That he will pass. And this noun clause is next to an incomplete predication, an incomplete verb. Therefore, it is the complement of a verb of incomplete predication. Just understand. When it is a verb which is incomplete in nature, that noun clause is known as clause of incomplete predication. Look at the next sentences. That is what she expected. What is my noun clause in the sentence? What she expected. And this follows my verb is, which is incomplete in nature. So this is a noun clause of incomplete predication. Look at the next sentence. It seems that she will top the list of successful candidates. Now, what is my verb in this sentence? Because when I talk about verb of incomplete predication, it is important for me to identify the verb first. What is my verb? Seems. Now, it seems is an incomplete word because it needs a sentence to complete it. It seems to me that, or it seems to me if, when I talk about the other verbs, let's say I eat. This verb eat is a complete verb because it does not need a sentence to complete it. Even if I say I eat, she eats, he eats, this is a complete verb. I drink, she drinks, he drinks, complete verb. When I say she is, now she is what? I need to have an answer to what, right? Then only my sentence will be complete. I think, I think. What do you think? I need an answer. And only then my answer would be complete. So such verbs that need a sentence to complete them are known as incomplete predication verbs. So here, that she will top the list of successful candidates. This sentence again has a verb seems, which is incomplete in nature, and therefore the noun clause that followed it was the noun clause of incomplete predication. Look at the third sentence. My great fear is, what is my great fear? That she may not succeed in the examination. Again, in this sentence, is an incomplete verb. It needs a sentence to complete it. And the noun clause that completed my incomplete sentence was that she may not succeed in the examination. So what are the four types of the noun clauses? Those noun clauses which act as a complement or that complete a verb which is incomplete in nature. Okay. And the last type of noun clause is when it is an opposition or when it is equal to a noun or a pronoun. When the position of a noun clause is same as a noun or a pronoun in the sentence. For example, Ramayana, the great epic, makes us happy. What is the book that we are talking about? Ramayana. So I get my answer. What makes us happy? Ramayana. If I look at the second sentence, the news that he won made us happy. Now, if I ask the question, what made me happy? There are two answers that I am getting. The news, and what is the second answer? That he won. So, in this sentence, that he won is a clause which is equal to my noun, that is the news, which has the same value as my noun. If I say, the girl who is pretty is standing there. If I ask the question, who is standing there? There are two answers that I get. The girl and which girl? Who is pretty. So both the girl and who is pretty have the same relevance in the sentence because when I ask the question who, my answer will have both of them. So that clause which has the equal value as the noun or the pronoun in that sentence is known as a noun clause of opposition. Okay, look at the next sentences. The news that he is alive is true. What is true? The news. And what was there in the news? That he is alive. So that he is alive holds the equal value as my noun, which is the news. Similarly, look at the second sentence. The belief that the earth is round is universally accepted. What is universally accepted? that the earth is round. This is the answer. The belief the earth is round. So when my noun clause is important because it has the same value as the noun or the pronoun in the sentence, it is known as the noun clause in opposition to a noun or a pronoun. So what are the 5 different types of noun clauses and their positionings that we have learnt about? The first one is when my noun clause acts as a subject. It will take the form, it will take the position before the verb. When it takes the form of an object, it will take the position after the verb. The third type was when it follows a preposition. The fourth type of noun clause was when it followed an incomplete verb, when it completed an incomplete verb. And the last type of noun clause that we learned was when my noun clause is equal in relevance to the noun or the pronoun in the sentence. So are we clear? Let us discuss the exercises that are given. As I did earlier, as you all know, how many do we have? We have 20 sentences. I'll discuss the first 10 with you. The next 10, I assume you people to do on your own. Pick out the noun clause in each of the following sentences and say how it is used, whether it is used as a subject, as an object, next to a preposition, opposition, or incomplete predication. First one. How the prisoner escaped is a mystery. What is a mystery? How the prisoner escaped. What is my verb in the sentence? Is. So my noun clause is before my verb. So here it is acting as a subject to the verb. Okay. He lives on what little he begs. He lives on what little he begs. So what does he live on? What little he begs. What is on? On is my preposition. My noun clause is next to a preposition. So this is a prepositional noun clause. Okay, third sentence. What he said is of no importance to me. What is of no importance to me? What he said. This is my noun clause because my answer, what is of no importance? The answer is what he said. And what he said is before a subject. So this is again a subject noun clause. I often wonder how you are getting on. I often wonder what? What do I often wonder? How you are getting on. This is my noun clause. What is my verb? Wonder. My noun clause is after the object. So this is an object noun clause. Next sentence. The news that all was well delighted everyone. What news delighted everyone? That all was well. Again, you see, the news that all was well delighted everyone. Here, what delighted everyone? The news. And what news? That all was well. So here, that all was well has the equal amount of relevance as my noun, that is news. So this is when my noun clause is in opposition to the, right? I went to see what had happened. I went to see what? What had happened? What is my verb? See. And my noun clause is coming after the verb. So this is object noun clause. Okay. Let us look at the next sentence. I have no faith in what he says. I have no faith in what? In what he says. This is my noun clause. Do I have a preposition in this sentence? Yes, I do. A noun clause following a preposition is a prepositional noun clause. Eighth sentence. I want to know how far it is from here. I want to know what? How far it is from here. Now, what is my verb in the sentence? Know. I want to know. But do you think this verb know is complete? If I say I want to know, this is not making any sense. It is an incomplete verb. So this is the noun clause of incomplete predication. It is complementing my verb of incomplete predication. Let us look at the ninth sentence. It is strange that you should think so. It is strange that you should think so. What is strange? That you should think so. What is my sentence? What is my noun clause? That you should think so. What is my verb? It is strange. It is strange. It is strange. It is a complete verb. I do not need anything to complete it. So here my noun clause is after it is after the verb. So here it does the act of an object noun clause. The last sentence. The truth is that we have been cheated. What is the truth? That we have been cheated. This is the truth. What is my verb after which this is coming? Is. And as I told you, is an incomplete verb. So a noun clause that follows an incomplete verb is the noun clause of incomplete predication. So this ways, my dear students, I want you to divide the sentence, ask the questions, identify the verb, see if the verb is incomplete, the noun clause after it is incomplete predication. If the verb is complete, it acts as an object. If I have a preposition, it is a prepositional noun clause. If my noun clause comes at the beginning of the sentence in the place of a subject, it is a subject noun clause. And if my noun clause has the equal relevance as the subject, it is the noun clause which is in opposition to the noun or the verb. Okay. Let us look at the second sentence. You are given with the sentences and you have to complete them using suitable noun clause. You know, these sentences, I'll just do the first 5 of them because there are multiple ways in which you can fill these sentences. I want to know. What do you want to know? I want to know, let's say, what is the time? Second, dash is admitted by all. What is admitted by all? The earth is round is admitted by all. Everybody has agreed to it that the earth is round. That is, now you have to complete, that is important, is believed by everyone. So what is believed by everyone? That is important. His wish is, what is his wish? His wish is to fly, or his wish is, just a second. Becoming a doctor. So what is his wish? Becoming a doctor. I little knew. What did I little knew? That he would not come. So you see, there are multiple ways. At the time when I would have been writing the answers for you, multiple answers would have been coming in your mind as well. So there are multiple ways in which you can fill these sentences. So I leave the rest ones for you to identify and to fill as per your own convenience. And with this, my dear students, we come to the end of chapter 3, where we learned about the 5 different types of noun clauses. I hope it was clear to you. I shall see you all now in my next video. Thank you.